To see somebody's life kind of wasted away that way, the 40 bucks that they got out of my wallet is a pretty sad comparison.
They're all teenagers, all of them, and they chose to be part of a violent gang, and now it is payback time. Good evening, everyone. In the name of the gang seemed to give the teenagers a sense of power, the two-gun gang.
It's how they use that power that now has them paying for shootings and robberies with their lives. 8 teenagers were charged in the robberies of 8 UC students. They were shootings, braggings on social media, and now justice. Local 12's DEBORAH DIXON tells us police and the community hope the message sinks in.
They couldn't help themselves. They just had to brag on Facebook. The guns, the stolen stuff from UC students, all became evidence against them. Teens 15 to 19 years old from Cincinnati, Claremont County, Covington. They terrorized the town the two-gun gangway.
Intentionally cruising around, armed with guns, looking for victims. They shot people, they robbed people, and now they're going to pay with this, largely for the rest of their lives.
These two 16-year-olds are the first in the gang to plead guilty. Jawan Williams is now doing 20 years in prison for the crime spree. Joshua Jackson Bay going away for 15 years. Any teens thinking 16-year-olds end up in juvenile detention need to think again.
Significant actions that these offenders have imposed upon society, and society is now imposing significant sentences on them.
It's the kind of validation police can talk about at the next Serve call-up in April, Cincinnati's initiative to reduce violence. Young people who might be thinking about the thug life get an offer of help to get out of it and a warning from police about the consequences of staying in it. During that Serve session, the sentence for these two gang members will be discussed. One of the robbery victims hopes it sinks in.
For those people who hear about it, that certainly conveys a message that doing things of that type carries a high price.
Caleb FAUX ended up with a gun in his face when 2 gun gangsters robbed him outside his Mount Lookout home.
At least one of those guys shot somebody in the back and paralyzed him for life, and it's hard to argue that we should have somebody like that out on the street.
There could be more prison time for 16-year-old Joshua Jackson Bay and Jawan Williams. If that paralyzed man dies, and if it's linked to being shot, they can be charged in his death. You gotta wonder if they're wondering if that whole two-gun gang thing was worth it. DEBORAH DIXON, Local 12 News.
Today, Kuan Trusts, who was 17 at the time of the robberies, pleaded guilty to 3 aggravated robberies and was sentenced to 13 years in prison. As their cases come up, we will keep track of the other 2 gun gangsters.